All right, y'all, it took a minute, but I finally was able to piece together the entire timeline of this Papoose and 50 Cent manufactured ass beef. Now, as recently as y'all seen, I posted up a reaction video to a meme that Papoose posted of 50 Cent AI gay dancing in the club. And it's all because of this original video that 50 Cent posted.
Hidden camera footage has reportedly surfaced, showing 50 Cent confronting members of Papoose's crew at an undisclosed location, and what was caught on film is absolutely wild. We're talking about a heated exchange that allegedly went left real quick, with voices raised, people getting in between them, and tensions at an all-time high. This isn't just another social media back and forth anymore. This is real street energy spilling over into real life, and the receipts are starting to pile up. Stick around, because we've got the full timeline, the background on how this beef even started, the leaked footage details, reactions from people who were allegedly there, and what this could mean for both camps moving forward. You do not want to miss this. Let's get into it. Alright, before we dive into what allegedly went down on that hidden camera, we need to set the stage and explain how we even got here, because this beef between 50 Cent and Papoose didn't just pop up out of nowhere. For those who don't know, 50 Cent has been on an absolute tear on social media for the past few months, and Papoose found himself in the crosshairs. It all reportedly started when 50 made some comments about Papoose's personal life, specifically regarding his relationship situation and his connection to boxer Claressa Shields. Now, 50 is known for trolling. That's his thing. He's been doing it for years, clowning everyone from Ja Rule to Rick Ross to Diddy. But this time, things escalated faster than anyone expected. Papoose, who's been in the game for decades and has earned respect as a lyricist and a loyal dude in the streets, wasn't about to let 50 just disrespect him without consequences. And he started responding on social media, then allegedly dropped some bars aimed at 50, and the back and forth started heating up. But 50 didn't back down. In fact, he doubled down, posting memes, making jokes, and basically treating Papoose like another target in his long list of rap beef victims. The problem is, Papoose isn't built like that. He's not someone who just laughs it off. He's from Brownsville, Brooklyn, and he's made it clear over the years that he's about that action if it comes to it.
50 Cent has given the people that have dissed him on wax, from Fabulous to Mano to Jim Jones to now even Papoose, an ultimatum. And if they can meet that ultimatum, he will respond in the booth. Yes, he said it himself. He will respond in the booth only if they can do this. So let's go over this. First, let me break down a little bit of the history. I don't want to go over it too much because I've already broken down this in other videos. So basically how all this started was Fabulous, Mano, Jim Jones, and Dave East have a Let's Rap About It podcast. On that podcast, they talk about documentaries. On the topic of documentaries, they said if the guy isn't involved in the documentary that's being documented about, it is a corny documentary. It's a mockumentary is what Jim Jones said. 50 took that personal because his Diddy Netflix documentary came out and he decided to call them out and basically revealed that they owed $250,000 in rent for their podcast studio where they record their podcast, and they're basically, you know, squatting.
So the tension kept building, with fans picking sides, other rappers weighing in, and the streets watching closely to see if this would stay online or spill into the real world. And according to what's being reported now, it looks like it did. The alleged hidden camera footage that's been circulating reportedly shows 50 Cent and members of Papoose's crew in the same space, and things allegedly got confrontational. We're talking about a situation where words were exchanged, people got in between them, and the energy was intense. This is the kind of moment that could change everything, because once it leaves the internet and becomes a real life situation, there's no going back. Now, to understand why this matters so much, you have to understand who these two men are in hip-hop. 50 Cent is a legend, no question. Oh, he survived getting shot 9 times, built an empire with G-Unit, sold millions of records, and transitioned into a successful businessman with TV shows and brand deals worth hundreds of millions. But his reputation has also been built on trolling and publicly embarrassing his enemies. He's made a career out of it. Papoose, on the other hand, is respected as one of the most skilled lyricists to ever come out of Brooklyn. He's not as commercially successful as 50, but in terms of street credibility and respect in the culture, he's held in high regard. So when these two worlds collide, it's not just about who has more money or more fame. It's about respect, reputation, and what happens when someone refuses to be disrespected. So let's break down exactly how we got to this point, step by step, that because the timeline matters. It all reportedly kicked off around late January 2026 when 50 Cent posted on Instagram making jokes about Papoose's relationship with Claressa Shields. Now, Claressa is a world champion boxer, one of the greatest of all time in women's boxing, and she and Papoose have been seen together publicly. But 50, being 50, decided to make it a joke, posting memes and making comments about Papoose's personal choices. To a lot of people, it seemed harmless at first, just 50 doing what he does. But Papoose took it personally. Within days, Papoose responded on his own Instagram, making it clear that 50 was crossing a line and that he wasn't going to tolerate the disrespect. He didn't just fire back with jokes. He made it clear that this was about respect, about his name, and about the fact that 50 was trying to make him look weak in front of the world. Papoose has always been known as someone who stands on principle, and he wasn't about to let this slide. The problem is, 50 Cent thrives on this kind of attention. The more you react, the more he posts. And that's exactly what happened. 50 started posting more frequently, clowning Papoose's music career, his relevance in the game, and even bringing up old situations from years ago. He was relentless, and his fan base was eating it up, flooding Papoose's comments with laughing emojis and memes. But while 50's fans were laughing, Papoose's supporters were getting heated. They saw this as a veteran rapper who earned his stripes getting disrespected by someone who doesn't fight his own battles anymore. And that's when things allegedly started moving offline. According to sources close to both camps, word started spreading in early February that Papoose and his people were looking for 50, not in a music way. We're talking about allegedly wanting to have a face-to-face conversation about the disrespect. Now, here's where things get interesting. 50 Cent is known for having security everywhere he goes. He's a businessman, he's worth hundreds of millions, and he's not out here moving like he used to back in the G-Unit days. But Papoose is still in the streets, he's still connected, and allegedly his crew started making moves to figure out where 50 would be. Now, we don't have confirmation on how they allegedly found out where 50 was going to be, but according to multiple reports, there was a situation at an undisclosed location, possibly a studio or a private event, where 50 Cent and members of Papoose's crew ended up in the same space. And this is where the alleged hidden camera footage comes in. We don't know who was recording or why, but the footage reportedly shows a tense confrontation that could have gone way worse if people hadn't stepped in. According to people who claim to have seen the footage, 50 was reportedly approached by several individuals who identified themselves as being with Papoose. Words were allegedly exchanged, with the crew members telling 50 that the online disrespect needed to stop and that Papoose wanted to handle this like men. 50, according to these same reports, allegedly didn't back down, but he also didn't escalate it to a physical level. His security reportedly stepped in quickly, and the situation was diffused before anything serious happened. But the fact that it even got to that point is what has everyone talking. This isn't just internet drama anymore. This is real people in real spaces having real confrontations, and that changes everything. What makes this even more serious is that allegedly, Papoose's crew wasn't alone. According to some reports, there were multiple people with them, and they came prepared for whatever might happen. They weren't just randomly running into 50. This was allegedly planned, coordinated, and executed with the intention of sending a message. Whether that message was just to talk or something more, we don't know for sure, but the energy was reportedly intense enough that people who were there are still talking about it days later.
He then received an award at the show.
Now, I've been a Lil Wayne fan basically my whole life, for as long as I can remember, or the majority of it.
My face is like this because y'all, I don't think y'all understand how big of a Wayne fan I am. It disappoints me. I feel like a parent when your kids do something wrong and you look at them, you go, man, you know, I'm not even mad, bro. I'm just.
After the Grammys, Lil Wayne tweeted,
"Congrats to the nominees and winners."
But then he proceeded to throw himself in the pot and say, well, I was excluded as usual.
Wasn't included as usual. I gotta work harder as usual.
one time for my slime, Bill Belichick.
So he's comparing himself to Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick wasn't inducted into the Hall of Fame. For one, totally different. Totally different.
So let's talk about what's allegedly on this hidden camera footage, because the details are crazy. According to multiple sources who claim to have seen it, the video starts with 50 Cent walking into what looks like a hallway or backstage area. He's surrounded by his security team and he's talking on his phone, looking relaxed. Then, out of nowhere, 3 or 4 individuals allegedly approach him from the side. You can reportedly hear one of them say something along the lines of, "Yo, 50, we need to talk." At first, 50 allegedly doesn't even look at them, he keeps walking, but then one of the individuals allegedly steps in front of him, blocking his path, and that's when things allegedly get tense. According to people who've seen the footage, 50's security immediately moves in, creating a barrier between him and the group. But the individuals don't back off. They allegedly start talking louder, saying things like, "You've been running your mouth online, but now you right here. Let's handle this." Now, here's where it gets even more intense. 50 allegedly stops, turns around, and says something back. We don't know the exact words because the audio on the footage is reportedly muffled in parts, but body language speaks volumes. You can allegedly see 50 pointing his finger, his security team getting more aggressive and pushing people back, and the Papoose crew members not backing down. It's reportedly a standoff that lasts maybe 30 to 45 seconds before other people in the area, possibly venue staff or mutual acquaintances, step in and separate everyone. What's wild is that after the confrontation allegedly ends, 50 reportedly walks away calmly. Gets on his phone again and leaves the building. No punches thrown, no one arrested, but the tension was real, and the fact that it was all caught on camera means this isn't just hearsay anymore. There's allegedly video evidence of this confrontation, and people are scrambling to verify it and figure out how it's going to leak publicly. The question everyone is asking now is, will this footage ever be released to the public? And if it does, what will it show exactly? Because depending on what's visible and what's audible, this could either confirm everything people are saying, or it could tell a completely different story. Now, you might be thinking, this is just another 50 Cent beef. He's been through this before. And yeah, you're right, 50 has had beef with basically everyone in hip-hop at some point. But this situation is different for a few reasons. First, Papoose isn't someone who's just clout chasing or trying to get attention. He's a respected lyricist who's been in the game for over 20 years. He's not a new artist trying to use 50's name to blow up. He's someone who genuinely feels disrespected and is willing to stand on that. Second, this isn't just social media anymore. The alleged confrontation reportedly happened in real life, face to face, and that changes the dynamic completely. When beefs stay online, they can go on forever without real consequences. But once it becomes physical, or even close to physical, that's when people start getting arrested, when careers get affected, and when things can spiral out of control. And let's be real, 50 Cent is not the same person he was in the early 2000s. He's a mogul now, on with business deals, TV shows, and a reputation to protect. Getting into street confrontations is not good for business. Third, there's the question of how Papoose's crew allegedly found 50 and got close enough to confront him. That suggests a level of planning and coordination that goes beyond just running into someone randomly. If people are actively looking for you, that's a serious situation, and if 50's security team wasn't able to prevent this confrontation entirely, that raises questions about vulnerabilities that could be exploited in the future.
And then the caption says, "Now you see that's assault. You can't just go around putting your hands on people. LOL, Happy New Year." From there, though, 50 deleted that, but obviously Papoose caught wind of that, and Papoose decided to go off on 50 and actually went on him pretty aggressively with AI, which is unfortunate. A lot of times this AI video stuff is getting crazy, but he decides to make a funny video of 50 essentially dancing in a girl outfit, and at a strip club area. And then the caption says, no, stop deflecting, Curtis. The world is still waiting for your response to Fab and them. You from Southside, do something, fight or flight. Holla if you need a ghostwriter chump. And then from there, 50 responded, and he said, he posted that AI video, and 50 said this: "Look at what Pat posted, ha ha ha. that looked like one of his joints. All his hoes handsome.
After the alleged confrontation, things reportedly got even more heated online. Papoose allegedly posted cryptic messages on Instagram talking about respect, loyalty, and how real men handle their issues face to face. He didn't directly confirm the confrontation, but people read between the lines and assumed he was talking about 50. Meanwhile, 50 Cent allegedly stayed silent on social media for a day or two, which is unusual for him. Normally, he would have posted about it immediately, turning it into another trolling opportunity. But the fact that he didn't say anything at first made people think this was more serious than his usual beefs. Then, a few days later, 50 allegedly posted a subliminal message on Instagram, something along the lines of, "People talk tough online, but when it's time to really do something, they freeze up." Fans immediately assumed he was talking about Papoose, and the comment section exploded. People were taking sides, debating who won the confrontation, and arguing about whether 50 was downplaying what happened or if Papoose was exaggerating. Other rappers started weighing in too. According to reports, Fabulous, who's been friendly with Papoose in the past, allegedly made some comments suggesting that 50 needs to be more careful about who he disrespects. Mano, another Brooklyn rapper, allegedly posted in support of Papoose, saying that real New Yorkers don't tolerate disrespect. Now let's talk about how the internet reacted, because that's always the most entertaining part of any beef. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok absolutely blew up with takes on the alleged confrontation. On one side, you had 50 Cent fans saying that Papoose is a nobody trying to get clout by starting beef with a legend. They pointed out that 50 has survived real street beef in the past, including getting shot 9 times, so Papoose and his crew don't scare him. They also argued that 50 has so much money and power now that he doesn't need to engage in street politics anymore. On the other side, you had Papoose supporters saying that 50 is hiding behind his security and his money, and that if he's going to disrespect people online, he should be ready to deal with the consequences in real life. They pointed out that Papoose is still in the streets, still respected in Brooklyn, and not afraid to back up his words with action. They also brought up the fact that 50 has made a career out of trolling people online, but when it comes to real confrontation, he always has security around him. Then you had the neutral observers, the people who just wanted to see the footage and judge for themselves.
When it comes to the bars, you notice we ain't really been hearing nothing. And I think that's kind of interesting. Like, if I ever got into it with 50 Cent, which I don't want no problems with 50, I respect 50 and I'm a huge 50 Cent fan. But yes, I would be dropping diss after diss after diss song. And it don't seem like he gonna respond with no diss songs no time soon. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we do get some bars from him. But I mean, I know he's kind of transcended that. Anyway, so 50 turns around and posts up this video of Remy Ma.
My ex might be the least income making person that I've ever been with. Ever.
Nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay. The fuck?
Hey, yeah, that was such a funny episode. He said, bitch, you fucking OJ? Oh, Black Carlos.
So where does this go from here? That's the million-dollar question. There are a few possible outcomes, and none of them are simple. First, there's the possibility that cooler heads prevail, and this gets squashed before it escalates further. Maybe someone like DJ Premier, who's respected by both 50 and Papoose, steps in and mediates a conversation. Maybe they sit down, talk it out, and agree to leave the beef in the past. That would be the ideal outcome, but let's be real, that's probably not what's going to happen. Second, there's the possibility that this stays as an online beef, with both sides continuing to throw shots at each other through social media and music. 50 could drop a diss track, Papoose could respond, and we get a lyrical battle that plays out over the next few months. That would be the most entertaining outcome for fans, and it would also be the safest, because it keeps things in the realm of art and competition rather than real-life violence. Third, and this is the outcome everyone is worried about, this could escalate into something more serious. If Papoose's crew continues to look for 50, or if 50 decides to retaliate in some way, this could turn into a dangerous situation, and we've seen too many times in hip-hop how beefs can spiral out of control and lead to tragedy. No one wants to see that happen, but history shows us that it's a real possibility if cooler heads don't prevail. There's also the legal angle to consider. If the hidden camera footage gets released publicly and it shows a clear confrontation, could there be legal consequences for anyone involved? Could 50 press charges for harassment or threats? Oh, and could Papoose and his crew face legal issues for allegedly confronting him? These are all real questions that could affect how this plays out in the coming weeks and months. And finally, there's the business angle. 50 Cent has a lot to lose if this beef affects his reputation or his business deals. He's got TV shows, liquor brands, and partnerships that depend on him maintaining a certain image. If this situation makes him look vulnerable, or if it damages his brand, that could have financial consequences. On the flip side, Papoose doesn't have as much to lose financially, but his reputation in the streets is everything to him. If he backs down, or if people perceive him as losing this beef, that could affect how he's viewed in hip-hop. So no matter how you look at it, the stakes are high for both sides. Fun, and what happens next will determine the legacy of this beef. Alright y'all, that's everything we know so far about the alleged hidden camera footage showing 50 Cent confronting Papoose's crew. This is a developing story, and we're going to keep you updated as more information comes out. If that footage ever gets released publicly, you know we're going to break it down frame by frame. In the meantime, drop a comment below and let us know what you think. Is this a real beef, or is it being blown out of proportion? Do you think 50 should have handled this differently, or is Papoose out of line for allegedly confronting him? Let us know, and if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. We've got more videos coming on the Drake Rico case, the iHeart Memphis arrest, and a bunch of other wild stories happening in hip-hop right now. Appreciate y'all for watching. This has been Rap Daily, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.